Hi, I'm Margaret and welcome to Garden School. I just noticed something today that's really kind of a cool thing. On a cover crop that had been planted, some little peas, and they grew all through the winter and are really nice. Now the purpose we had put these peas in was as a cover crop was to add some nutrients into the soil right there. And peas and many of the legumes have this fantastic thing that they can do. They can take the nitrogen in the atmosphere and change it into a form that plants can absorb. Now we'll go into the chemistry of that in a little bit, but I wanted to show you a picture of this. Here's the pea plant that I was removing, and we were chopping it down in the bed to get it ready for spring planting. And I see along the roots here some nodules. Those are very interesting. Now, the nodules are formed by a bacteria, and that bacteria is what can change the one form of nitrogen into a form that a plant can use and absorb. So we're going to take a little bit of a dive into some chemistry, but I wanted to show you these great nodules, so that if you're finding something like that on a legume, that is a really wonderful thing to see. And these happen to be a little bit pinkish in color. That is really cool. So what we were seeing there on the root of that pea plant, those nodules, that's formed when a rhizobium bacteria, there's other nitrogen fixing bacteria as well, but probably rhizobium kind of infects the root hairs and enters the root, and it creates that nodule. Then inside the nodule, enzymes are released called nitrogenases, and that converts the atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, and that's the ammonium form of nitrogen that the plant can absorb. Here's our really quick chemistry lesson. So atmospheric nitrogen, N2, that is converted that is the form in the atmosphere, and it's not absorbable by plants. But when the bacteria, the enzyme from the bacteria creates that nitrogenases, it changes the atmospheric nitrogen to ammonium, and that's the form that the plant can absorb. So there you go. It's thank you bacteria for converting the nitrogen from one form into another, and then the plant can absorb it into its tissues. Now, when the plant is done and dies back, the nitrogen that's in that plant then goes into the soil, and it can be utilized then be available for another crop. So it's kind of a great thing for sequestering nitrogen, making it usable for plants. Thank you, bacteria. So when the bacteria is present that can help convert the nitrogen that into a form the plant can use, that's a really neat thing, because it reduces the need for synthetic nitrogen fertilizers, makes things more sustainable. And then the legume in turn, I did say it was a symbiotic relationship. The legume plant in turn provides carbohydrates for the bacteria, as well as the protection in that little nodule. Kind of a cool thing. Well, just a brief chemistry lesson about nitrogen fixing bacteria, how neat that is to find those nodules on those roots. Very cool. Well, there's always more to learn in the garden. Bye-bye.